I'm Joe Broom, and I have been working towards the creation of digital media companies for the past 25 years. I was certified to teach all-level art in 1986 at Houston Baptist University and continued my education to receive a master's in educational leadership technology at George Washington University. There I specialized in using video game development to motivate students to learn science and math. I have taught digital and interactive media in Maryland and Austin, Texas. Here in Texas, where I am now, I have continued to teach animation, 2D with Flash and hand-drawn, advanced animation, which is 3D with Maya, and video game design using Maya and Unity. Each year I get closer to creating my own digital media business to employ my students and my family. Our first project in video game design is 3D modeling in Maya. I used Maya to create this simple cage to practice modeling. We all followed along with me, so our deadline was met by everyone. I used still images of rusty objects and shiny metal to add textures to the project. It took only one class period. The second project was called Environment Creation using Unity. My first project with Unity was building this mountainous terrain in Unity. The environment moves very similarly to Maya. I used the paintbrush tool to add textures and paint with textures. I used the raise and lower terrain tool to create mountains. I also located the camera where the game will begin. The third project was importing models into Unity. I exported this model into Unity by saving it into the assets folder, then moving it into the hierarchy. I was then able to add the textures by dragging them into the assets folder and onto the parts of the model in the hierarchy. Lighting and character controls in Unity came next. I selected a directional light and used transform controls to move it into a natural sky location. Then I used the rotate tool to direct it where it looked appealing. I then created a board game and had to create storyline, rules, and alter it after it was played with other people to make it more fun. Next, we wrote a pitch script about our game that we wanted to submit to the group. We then created an interface for that pitch to see who would end up being the one whose game we used for the class as a team project. Next, we created environments for the game that we chose, which was It's Me, Bird. Then we created game objects for the game environment in Maya. Next, we created a t-shirt design for a t-shirt contest for our academy. And we modeled a character for the Bird project. We then worked on our C++ again for a while and created music for our Bird game using Magix. Next, we did some work with GameStar Mechanic to learn about space, components, mechanics, goals, and rules. We then communicated with our mentor in Florida and showed him what we were working on so far. Next, we did more C++ projects and learned about all kinds of variables like floats, ints, doubles, strings, bools. I learned that I have to set up safety code so my programs won't crash. Usually this means that I provide an option for the user to provide a incorrect answer. I then found that most programs need a tool for increasing numbers every time the program loops. We use x++ or x equals x++. This x minus minus does the opposite. We are now learning about operators which are similar to math symbols but follow very strict order. The next project was UV texturing the pigeon. Then we created a sprite sheet out of the pigeon so that we could do a 2D version. Next, we created a sci-fi environment in Unity and Photoshop, then created game art for our mentor who wanted some ideas for his steampunk game. Then came a rollerball game demo that we got from Unity. We then created our environment and navigation for the bird flight game and sent it to our mentor. We worked on C++ again, and finally we created our demo reel that we'll use for the rest of the year to put all of our projects on. Next, everyone combined their contributions to the bird game. That put us one step closer to finishing it by combining the items from all the other students in the class. Food and energy was Minji, Robert, and Adrian. Interface bars were Matt. Navigation was Jose and Miles. Colliding damage, Eric and Justin. And Samadar, Blake, and Robert worked on the award display. Next, we worked on C++ again, and this time it was about different kinds of loops and operators. We did 4 do-while and while loops, and we used the and, which is the and sign, and the vertical line, which is the or operator, to control data in the loops.